Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. Liana and I had a very interesting discussion today. There are so many movies now, and it seems like it's a recurrent topic all the time, dystopia. And we wanted to discuss if we are living today in dystopia.
So, what is a dystopia? A dystopia is a fictional or imagined society that is extremely bad, frightening, or dehumanizing. Dystopias are often set in the future and are characterized by oppressive societal control, the illusion of a perfect society, and widespread suffering. I disagree that US is among these countries. I don't think that it's that bad to live in the US. I don't think that they live in dehumanized conditions or they fear about their life or whatever. I think it's more about such countries as North Korea, Russia, if you don't earn enough.
Can we go back to the US? Do you think that the gap between rich and poor is growing wider and millions of
Yeah.
people live in poverty and hunger even in the US?
I think a lot of people live in poverty and hunger in the US, but it's not that bad as it sounds.
Really? When we were in California, there were thousands of homeless people on the streets because they have major housing problem.
But still, I don't know. Still, I wouldn't say that like US is such a huge of a problem.
Climate change.
Climate change. I'm among those people that I think that we will somehow survive. So
Okay, I think it's we are not going to survive. I think climate change is posing a serious threat to the planet and its inhabitants. And to be honest, I would love to believe that somehow
but
miraculously
Elon will save us and
the
we'll go
last
to.
second when the world be on fire, Elon will save everyone. But
He's saving us currently, so we will go just to another planet and everything will be great. So I mean,
okay,
guys, we're saved.
Viva Elon. But as you mentioned, I totally agree that there are some real world examples that can be considered dystopian in nature, often characterized by oppressive societal control, loss of personal freedoms, widespread suffering.
Yeah,
And what are the most notable examples?
North Korea.
Why?
All of I think everything that we just said is about this place. It's often cited as a contemporary dystopia due to its totalitarian regime, strict control over information, severe limitations on personal freedoms. The government maintains a cult of personality around its leaders, and dissent is met with harsh punishment. I can
Exactly
also
the same we can say about Russia.
yeah,
It's
and about
every
North Korea,
single.
I want to add that they actually have a cult of their leader. And
Remember exact number of allowed haircuts, and everyone should
yeah,
be follow the same one.
I
But
think
how
this
about
is
Russia?
like the. I think it's better than North Korea, of course, because still you can travel, still. But I think in
Is it going
if
there?
it's 100% going there, and I think only if you earn enough, which means a lot, you can have a normal life there. But people, when they think about Russia, they don't understand that most of people there, they don't even have toilets. They live in extreme poverty. So I think that they are heading there. They're going to be there really, really quick, and to be honest, they are not going to have a bright future.
Okay,
um, then another example is Venezuela.
for sure. Venezuela has experienced significant economic collapse, leading to widespread poverty, hunger, and political repression. The government's authoritarian measures, including the suppression of protests and free press, create a scenario reminiscent of dystopian society.
Yeah, what I know is that about Venezuela, I read an article a while ago, and I know that they even have a problem with electricity. So when they do operations, for example, sometimes they don't have
Surgeries.
surgeries, they don't have electricity. So Venezuela is one of these places where to be honest, I wouldn't even want to go there. I'd be like really,
I find
really
it
scared.
extremely sad that
Well, I
Russia
know
and
actually.
Venezuela are so rich in natural resources, but just a couple of people have decided to distribute all the wealth of the country among instead
I
of the whole
even
population among a couple of people.
was told by a Venezuelan girl that it's normal there also to kidnap people. So if you, it's normal to kidnap you and then to ask your parents, for example, to pay a certain amount for you. It's like a everyday scenario for a lot of people. You just walk on the street, you're kidnapped, and then your parents pay money, etc. So this is like a completely fucked up place. Yeah, but still Russia is worse.
Okay, there is one other country that we both have been a couple of times and we don't really like because
And
of less of freedom,
I would
lack of
never
freedom.
want to go back.
China's social credit system. I find it insane. It's also like from the episode of Black Mirror. So the implementation of social credit system in China, which monitors their citizens' behavior and assigns scores that can affect their access to services and travel, raises concerns about privacy and state control. The system can lead to a society where individuals are constantly surveilled and judged. To be honest,
Does it
I
exist in
felt
real life, this
yes, it
system?
does. We've traveled so much, and I've never been to a country where you have to pass security control, like the airport ones. So, like
In the tube,
cup
even like
tube
when
and
you.
museums and libraries. So all of these public places,
Yeah.
you have to show your bag. Even even the bottle of water was not allowed very often.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's insane.
It's insane, and they even checked our passports when we entered the tube, which is craziness.
But I
I think
remember you were
you.
scared to when we were in
I
China
never
together. You
walked
never left
alone
home alone.
on the street. I was scared, and I wanted to leave, and I never ever want to come back. To be honest.
But I know that. So we were not recording any videos, but people who make videos in China, they say that there are like police, but dressed as locals or ordinary people. And when you're with camera, they appear from different places, and they just watch you, so you don't say anything that they potentially don't like.
This is dystopia.
Yeah.
So another example is surveillance states. Countries with extensive surveillance systems such as the UK and to some extent the United States can exhibit dystopian characteristic.
But this is what we
But
talked
I don't
today.
like agree with it.
Everyone says about the cameras, but at
If
the
something
moment in London
happens,
there is a huge problem with thieves, and for some reason none of them are scared of their
CCTVs,
face. Yeah.
when something happens, for example, a friend of mine, she said that her wallet was stolen, and she said, yeah, but you can look on the camera
In the
who
cafe.
actually did it in the cafe. And they said, to be honest, it's almost impossible because you need to get a permit from the police, but they won't give it to you because it's only in extreme cases that they bother to do it. So yes, they say that CCTVs are everywhere, but it's very difficult actually to see what
I
has
think
happened.
it works, but not for theft. It should
Yeah,
be
yeah, yeah.
probably murder or something.
Yeah, something like very
serious.
severe, probably. The pervasive monitoring of citizens raises issues about privacy, freedom, and the potential for government overreach.
Okay, climate change and environmental collapse it progresses. Some regions are experiencing severe environmental degradation, leading to resource scarcity, forced migrations, and conflicts. I watched just today that in Delhi, in India, it's impossible to breathe. That the air is so bad, it's just like extreme fog, but it's not real fog, it's pollution, and people just can't breathe. So
Oh. But remember, we lived in Dubai, and also the same thing. We were told that no, the quality of air is okay here, and we checked, and almost every day it was extremely
but
bad.
at least
It was
in
so
Dubai,
bad.
but at least in Dubai, it was because
It's in the middle of
in
the desert, but still.
so it's normal. But Delhi is just because of the different plants and production. So
But the same in China. When
in
we
China
were
it
there,
was very
it was like the end
bad.
of the world. We came to Beijing, and we thought that it's fog, and it was for the couple of days, and then we realized that it wasn't fog. The quality of air was so bad that we were told not to even open the windows, and also we were told that the quality of water is so bad that when you take the shower it's bad, obviously, for your body, because with water all of these chemicals, your skin absorbs all of these chemicals. Also, you can't drink tap water because this is dangerous. You have to, even when you cook a meal, you have to use water from the supermarket. So for me, China is a dystopia, because
But
it's like
do you remember
since the end
that
of
we
the
were
world.
told actually that it's a myth that you have to wear? Because before COVID, I couldn't imagine that people have to wear masks
Yeah,
outside. But in China, we were told that it's a myth that you need to wear a mask only outside because basically inside you breathe the same air.
it's the same air, so yeah,
But
it
I
makes
remember
sense.
talking to our friends, Chinese friends, and they said that they are willing to pay this price for financial benefits, which I find
Craziness.
extremely sad and crazy. I find it really strange that people love watching dystopian fiction. How about you?
I never watched anything like
You
this.
liked Hunger Games, no?
Yeah, but it's not like Hunger Game is like a light version. It's not
It's
like
still dystopian.
okay. I didn't see that movie something so scary.
So I will frankly admit that I do not like dystopian fiction. It depresses me. It not saddens, depresses. I don't mind stories that make me sad, such as when a beloved character dies, but depressed is whole other thing. I hope for a better outcome in the world than what dystopian fiction portrays. I think there is enough depressing, horrifying things in real life, like the war in Ukraine, that I don't want to spend my pleasure reading or watching movies about the world like that. There's other example of dystopian.
Sometimes dystopian fiction is centered around a person who's questioning the reality and thus fighting whatever totalitarian regime they are suffering under. 1984, Brave New World, Hunger Games, etc. So one might assume that most of people would be drawn to media that feels safe and familiar in a world that can feel increasingly unsafe. In fact, in the early days of the pandemic, many people returned to watching old favorite television shows that felt like a comfort place. Also, actually, a lot of people say that COVID was a dystopia, but I don't agree with that, because COVID ended, and still a lot of people they don't like to go outside. So why people are
It
saying that
was
it was
more
a
about
dystopia?
restriction of free freedom.
I think a lot of people exaggerated the restrictions, because, as we now see, people don't want to go to offices, don't very often
Yeah,
like
but
to
it's
go
different
outside.
not to want to go and when you absolutely can't because someone tells you you can.
Yeah,
It's
probably.
your choice, and if you want to, you don't have to go outside. But if you're not given a choice,
Yeah.
so I know that a lot of people like to watch dystopia because and horror stories in general because they can be therapeutic. As odd as it sounds, this type of media can lower anxiety. Frightening or violent scenes in horror movies bring a surge of adrenaline and cortisol, the so-called stress hormones, similar to the fight or flight response that we experience in real danger. We are all aware that we are practically safe, so our emotion regulation skills generally kick in quite effectively to moderate those emotions. Choosing to experience fear in an environment where you have control like this can bring some psychological benefits.
I'm not one of those people.
Yeah, me neither.
So
That's
that
why I don't like any horror movies, any stories about serial killers, and dystopia as well.
Yep. So, guys, let us know if you think that we actually live in dystopia or not. If you watch such movies,
Or
read
read
such
books.
books, and what other examples of dystopia do you know? Thanks so much for watching.